Sanmanane guys, welcome back to yet another video, and today we are speaking about the Ultimatum South Africa episode 1. So in episode 1 guys, it's basically just about first impressions, not first impressions, introductions, introducing the couples to one another, and within episode 1 they get to split up and officially become exes, and they get to flirt and kind of like establish who they kind of have a connection with. So when episode 1 starts off, obviously everyone's coming in from the door, everyone's looking dapper, everyone looks good with their partners. I must say that the cast is a bunch of really good looking people, like they all look good. So they came in there with their partners, and I'm gonna give my first impressions of the first two couples that Hausa and Selemina, who are the hosts, got to like speak to. First being with Tabi and Genesis. So Tabi and Genesis, you guys, I love them. I love them. They are tertiary lovebirds. They started dating while they were in tertiary, and personality wise, I feel like they work so well. Like when you see Tabby, you see Genesis. Like Tabby's always laughing, always smiling. When you see Genesis, he's always laughing, he's always smiling. And I kind of get like why their love is like, it's so cute and it's like so fun. Like, and it's so playful, but it's not playful in a way where it's like these two people like no one knows where to draw the line. Like you can see they both intelligent people, but they really know how to have fun in their relationship, and I love that for them. Then the next couple they kind of like, you know, spoke about is Unkateko and Kanya. So Unkateko and Kanya physically, guys, they are a banging couple. They physically like look good individually, and as a couple, they seem very calm and collected. And I'm just wondering like what's missing, because if they both calm and collected, they both look good together. Like what is the missing piece that's not making them like move their relationship to the next step? But Unkateko does say that the issue in their relationship is trust. And there's something that he said at the end, something that he said alone, and something that Kanya said when she was in like the group setup, that just made me think that like there's just something that's just not adding up here. When Kateko was speaking in his diary sessions, he was saying that like at times as a person, you know that you are enough. But the question is, does the person know that you're enough? So obviously that gave off the vibes that Nkateko was basically saying that he knows that he's enough as a man for her. But the question is, does Kanya know that that he's enough as a man? So if you're saying that, that means she either does not value you or undervalues you. I don't know. That's the undertone that it was giving. And then Ukanya, when she was like in the group setup, when the hosts were like asking her about her relationship and why she gave like the ultimatum, she basically said that it's just a matter of him it's just a matter of him knowing that he is man enough to marry me. So for me, like there's a mismatch there. She is saying that he needs to get to a point where he knows that he's man enough to like be a husband to her, and yet so that's what she's saying. And then in his diary sessions, he's basically saying that the question is whether that person knows that you're enough. So I'm like, the one person is saying like that which is the guy, he feels like she doesn't think or she doesn't treat him in a way that he's enough. And then she's basically saying, no, you need to get there mentally for yourself to know that you're enough. So I don't know. I just found that like a bit like off-ish in a sense. And I don't know, maybe it's a communication thing, but Nkateko said it's a trust thing. So I guess we'll see like as like time unfolds of like what really is going on with that couple. So anyway, then moving on from that, the couples basically have their last nights together, their last dinner together, and Ruth and Isaac. So Ruth, remember, she says that she issued the ultimatum to Isaac because she feels like she's been hidden. She's been dating Isaac for 2 years, and while she's been dating Isaac for 2 years, she has not met no family member of his, no friend. She doesn't know where he stays. She's not allowed to go where he stays. She's not allowed to call him at certain times. She's only allowed to text him. So my question then is, baby girl, like, why would you still give a person an ultimatum to marry you? Whereas already, like, they're treating you in a way as if they are hiding you. And so Isaac's defense, or defending himself, he says that in his culture, he says that in his culture, he's not allowed to introduce a woman or bring a woman home unless she is a wife. But I'm just like, I know, like, that's just such a common thing in Black people's cultures. But the most of them, especially with guys and girls, you'd normally introduce your partner to your friend or even your siblings, depending on like the age gap between your siblings or how close you are with your siblings. But the fact that he's never introduced like her to any of the friends. So I'm just like, so why are you here, Ruth? I just be like, nah, I feel like either one, he's just not acting right for her because he doesn't see her having the qualities of being a wife, or either number two, he maybe it's just a mindset. But no, let me rule out number two. No, 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 because I just know that when a guy is really into you, like, he wants to show you off to the entire world. So the fact that he hasn't showed her off to the friends and etc., that for me it's just like, nope, red flag. So anyway, while they having their last night together, Ruth and Isaac, they are having dinner. And then Ruth asks Isaac, have you ever had those moments where you doubt me? And then Isaac says, all the time. Hey, I'm like, all the time. I'm like, if a person answers a question like that, with all the time, for me, it's just like, you got your answer. The reason why he has not popped the question, never mind pop the question, because Isaac also says 2 years is a short space to get to know a person, considering the fact that they are in a long distance relationship. I think that's a reason enough for you to know, like, for you to kind of get the answers that you've been asking yourself of. The reason why he hasn't introduced you to any of his close people is because he doubts you all the time, and he doesn't want to like waste his friends' energy or his family or his sister's energy by introducing them to someone that might not even be around for a long time. But 2 years is a long time, you guys. I don't want to lie. 2 years is a very long time to not tell anyone about your partner. So he says that he doubts her all the time, and he says, like, you know what you do, like, you know what you don't do. And he's saying this to Ruth. He's saying that she doesn't call and ask him, like, hey, baby, how's your day going? How's work going? Like, she never ever, like, calls him to check up on him of, like, how's your day going and how are you doing? And yeah, that's like, and when he was saying that, like, he was quite ranged, and I'm just like, sir, this is basically, you guys are basically in a honeymoon state at this point. Like, you are like in a very beautiful suit, in a very beautiful hotel or apartment, whatever it is. Like, I don't expect you to be bringing up such heavy conversations, but it looked like it was something that really touched him, because like out of the blue, like, it went from 0 to 100 like really fast. But I must say, it's inconsiderate. Like, how are you dating a person and you never ask, like, how, like, you never check up on them? No. Then anyway, Ruth starts crying because she says that she feels bad that she's asking for something that she doesn't give out, but she feels like you could have at least communicated it, and she does at least apologize, and she does seem sincere about it. But yeah, Isaac should have communicated it. He can't like putting it up here on the show, and yeah. And then Lebu and Nola. So Lebu and Nola, they having their last night together. And Lebu's first question is, who did you like? Patrick Miguel, like who did you like? But it's not even about the question, it's the tone in which she asked it in that gave me the vibes that Carl is insecure. So Nola seems like he's like a guy who's very good at words because like almost he says like everything he says in this scene like seems like it's the perfect words, the perfect answers, like and Lebu's smitten there. So he really seems like a guy who's like good with words. And Lebu says that Nola flirts a lot. That's her issue with him. He flirts a lot and he describes his flirting as just being friendly. But Lebu's like, no, you're not being friendly with people or with girls when you call each and every random girl by babe. And I'm just like, oh, so you those type of guys. Like, nah, those guys who call each and every second girl babe, I just feel like, nah, you are like, I just feel like, in a sense, you don't have respect for women. You can't just go around calling people babe and you don't even know whether they're in a relationship or not. I just don't find that respectful in any way. So anyway, he says that Lebu is quite insecure, and she says that in order for her to stop being insecure, Nola needs to change his ways. So based on episode 1, I'm gonna give the review like I don't know what's going on, and give a review based on like because I rewatched the episode. Nola does seem promising. He does seem promising. It does seem like he loves Lebu. So we'll see what's what. And then who next? Courtney and Aiden. Courtney and Aiden. The girl seems very focused. Courtney seems very focused, and Aiden seems a bit more laid back. So because she's the one who issued the ultimatum, I don't know. For me, it's giving vibes as if she's like trying to pull out marriage out of the sky. I don't know, but we'll see as it progresses. And then there's Sizagele and Lindile. Lindile, um, he's the guy and he's the one who issued the ultimatum, and apparently he basically issued the ultimatum when there were 3 months in the relationship. And I know social media was like, Batung, like you guys have only been dating for 6 months, why would he issue the ultimatum? But in his defense, guys, they have been friends. They've been friends. So by the time they got into a relationship, the guy knew like her, he knew what type of person he's getting his self he knew what type of person he's getting himself involved with. But for me, like I don't know, like I think because Sizagele seems like such a genuine, sweet lady, and for me in my head, I'm just like I don't see why she didn't want to get married. I don't know. But yeah, and like for me, it's just making me question, is there something shady about the guy that is making the girl not want to like say yes? Because in this day and age, you guys, if you meet a guy who really wants to settle with you that quick and he has good intentions towards you, like almost any second woman would be happy about that, especially if you've created a friendship and you know the guy and you know the guy has good intentions towards you. I don't see why you wouldn't want to settle down. So we'll see like what's up with that. So anyway, the couples go on speed dating, and as they're going on speed dating, they're basically trying to establish like which couples or which person they connect with the most. One person that truly did like stand out when they were doing speed dating is Kanya, you guys. Kanya gave all the guys a chase for their money. Like, one thing about Kanya, like she can't hide her facial expressions. So when they asked her, like, what do you do for a living? She'd like answer the question by saying, I'm an entrepreneur, while looking like super bored. Like she looked bored, like when all of the guys were like speed dating her and speaking to her, she looked like she didn't want to be there. And Aiden even said on the side, like in his what is this called, diary sessions, in his diary sessions he was like, I actually felt like I was just irritating her. And that's kind of, she just looked bored at all the guys, and she basically says in her diary sessions that all the guys that she met were 6 and 7s out of 10 in terms of conversation. So basically, she was basically saying that she was not impressed with any of those guys because conversation is basically 6 or 7 out of 10. And I'm like, shy girl, I don't know. Kelly's on another level of her own. But one thing I can tell you is that the fact that no guy, or the fact that all the guys shared something in common, which was that they felt as if she was like bored, and that she really didn't want to speak to them. I think that speaks a lot about like her demeanor and the way she treats people, or maybe not the way she treats people, or the way she comes off. And I think that just gives off vibes that it comes off as if you think you're superior to people. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the vibes that it gave me, because yes, she's a good looking girl, but when she starts opening up her mouth, I'm just like, nah, you the six or seven out of 10 in conversation, not these guys, ma'am. And then the first couple that actually made a connection, and you can see like both these people are really into one another, and I'm just like, there's gonna be trouble here, is Ruth and Nola. So Ruth and Nola clicked very well from the get-go. Then another couple that really clicked very well is Courtney and Kateko. They had a very easy conversation, but Courtney also made another connection with Genesis. And yeah, both of those relationships, I see them as platonic relationships, but she got along very well with the two. And then Ungateko, he seems to get along, or he seemed to get along very well with Caesar. There was, vibes that was going on there. Caesar was attracted to him. He was attracted to Caesar. They look very cute as a couple. Their energies match. So I low-key like them. I low-key like them a lot. And I really hope they choose one another on the next episode when they get to, choose their trial marriages. And then another person who made a connection is Isaac and Kanya. So believe it or not, Kanya did actually make a connection with one guy, which was Isaac, like one guy out of all of them. So she made a connection with Isaac. Isaac seems to really be into Kanya. He's not even thinking of his ex. He's like fully immersing himself, like close into Kanya. And Kanya, quite frankly, seems to enjoy her conversations with Isaac. She says Isaac is the best conversation, or he's the best conversation. Oh, how do I say it? But like out of all the guys, like he's on the top of her list. So anyway, Isaac and Kanya are out there giggling with one another, laughing. And Kanya's ex, which is Ngateko, he basically makes a comment that maybe I am reading too much in, because like Kanya's just giving me like funny vibes. But yeah, Ngateko said it was the first time he sees Kanya with other men, and it's the first time he sees Kanya with other men and getting along so well. And I'm like, sir, are you trying to say that this woman doesn't get along with no men? Because I'm just like, if you really think, and you think of yourself like that high, like, why aren't you married, ma'am? Like, why are you on the show if you really think that you're that high, almighty? Anyway, so yeah, so I don't know if I'm maybe reading too much into it or what, but Ngateko called Kanya aside and wants to have a conversation with her, just to basically, he does feel jealous by the connection that he had, or she had, with Isaac. And Kanya was saying basically she feels like Ngateko pulled her aside because he could see that she was making a connection with Isaac, and he basically wants her all to himself. So Ngateko, while he pulls her aside, he has a conversation with her to say that, you know what, I love you, I've always loved you. Like basically reassuring her, just to make sure that she doesn't go ahead and, like fully immerse or like forget herself. Like, just reminding her that he really loves her. And Kanye's just like, you know what, dude, I am tired of you. You all about talk, 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 talk. I am tired of you, like your talk, talk, talk. You the one, first of all, who even brought up this whole thing of marriage, and then like you left me hanging like that. And now when I'm asking you like for a deadline of when you're gonna get married to me, you like full of talk, and you're like beating around the bush, like when are you gonna marry me, like when are you gonna make me a wife? I'm not gonna spend another December like not being a wife. Your Kanya just goes off like right there and then, like just basically irritated of the fact that she feels like Gateko's like good at words, and she feels like she's been a fool for always like falling into the trap of like his words, but she just feels like now she needs him to step up and propose to her. And he basically says to Kanya, but you know the things that we need to do in order for us to be at a place where we can propose, where we can take the next step. And Kanya's like, no, but no relationship is like perfect. So to me, it gives the vibes that Gateko's well aware that there's issues in their relationship, that unless these issues are unresolved, it's not a healthy thing and a wise decision to get married. And Kanya, on the other hand, seems to be like on the top of, yes, there's issues. Everyone has issues. But anyway, I want marriage and give me marriage. So I do think Ngateko truly loves her, but at the same time, he's scared to make the commitment because for whatever reason, yeah, they're just not there as a couple. But anyway, guys, that is my summary of episode 1. But I'm telling you, once people get to make their selections, guys, that's when the heat is going to be brought on. Please do make sure that you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is for free of charge. And I'll see you on the next one.